Hello everyone, that Manga Kid here to do my full series review of Kiss Me at the Stroke of Midnight, and this is by Rin Mikimoto. This is a Kodansha release that is 12 volumes long. I've been collecting this one, I believe, since volume 2. I think I bought the first 2, and then from there I was pre-ordering, and then over the last few volumes there was such a long wait time because of COVID, I believe, that I just kind of fell off of it a little bit, and then got the last few relatively recently. But this series is an age gap romance. Hinana is our main girl. She's in high school. I think she's like 16 or 17 years old. And Kaede is a famous former idol, but now actor. Very, very popular. I think it starts out where he's filming something on site at her school. And so he's on site filming. I think she gets to be, her and her friend might be an extra in the scene or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but either way, she meets him. And I think he kind of becomes immediately sort of smitten with her. And she's obviously starstruck by him. He's gorgeous, he's older, he's very popular. And so she's kind of an honor student, like smart, very smart and focused girl. And he is, I think, like more popular than than is good for him, because he used to be in an idol group with these other 3 guys who used to be his close friends. He's no longer in that idol group. He's gone solo. I believe they're still in the group, but there's animosity between him and his old friends because now he's this like super popular solo actor guy, who, like, they feel like he kind of like ditched them, left them behind. And so he's kind of struggling with the fact that he's very, very popular, but he doesn't really have many friends. And he's trying to like balance his life a little bit because he can't really go out without a disguise or anything like that, because he's just like, people follow him everywhere. And so the story kind of focuses on him, falling in love with her kind of falling in love with him, and in the trials and tribulations that come along with being a public figure, and particularly around the fact that he's not really supposed to date at all because he's supposed to be this like single hot young guy that anybody could, fantasize about getting together with him. And so not only is he dating somebody, but he's also dating somebody younger than him. So he's, I think, like 23 years old or something like that, and she's like 16 or 17. And so there's a bit of a, thing around that as well, of like, not only should he not be dating somebody, but he certainly shouldn't be dating a high school student. He's a bit immature. He's kind of like, he's probably grown up being told he's gorgeous. He can pretty much get anything he wants outside of like privacy and just a normal kind of life. But he is a hard worker, though, and I think that that's like, he's not a lazy guy who just things get handed to. He's privileged for sure, but he does work for you know what he gets. And she's a very hard worker and very studious young girl, and so but she's not as confident, I think, as she would be if she was dating somebody who was kind of her own speed, just because of the fact that, like, she spends a lot of the series being like, how do I possibly live up to this, impossible expectation of beauty and popularity when I'm with this guy who is just so exceptional. She deals with, a lot of those same feelings that any kind of high school romance manga deals with, of, jealousy or inferiority or whatever, when you're dating the popular guy, but the popular guy that she's dating happens to be a, superstar. not just popular in high school, but popular in the country. And so, you know, her all of her feelings are just kind of like exponentially more present than they would be if it was just another, you know, high school romance. Um, yeah, but that being said, she is a high school student, but a lot of the time of this series is not spent in school because he is not in school. And so it is a bit interesting and different in that aspect. Um, it is a lot of fun. Now, the main premise starts off with, you know, him. He's got a bit of a thing for butts. He's quite obsessed with them, and so it's kind of a little gag at the beginning that pretty much drops off after the first like 3 volumes or so. It's quite heavily there in the first volume or two, but then it just completely basically disappears. And I'm not gonna lie, my favorite volumes of this series are the first two. Um, I thought they were absolutely hilarious. I was really enjoying the characters. It was when it got into the drama of the, you know, the backstory with the band and the love triangle with her childhood friend and all of that kind of stuff in the middle that the series kind of dropped a little bit for me. Not enough that I wasn't going to finish it, obviously, because I kept buying it. But for me personally, I wish it kept a lot of that like humor and um, ridiculousness that the first 2 volumes really, really came in strong with. Um, yeah, I will say, I love his manager. He is my favorite character by far. He's so like deadpan, but hilarious. He's kind of like a middle aged dude. Um, Maybe a little younger. He might only be like in his 30s, but anyway, he's older obviously than Kaede. And so he just has to deal with the fact that Kaede is dating this high school student and he just can't get him to like stay away from her and follow the rules of what he's supposed to be doing, which is working, focusing on work. And it's just so funny and so futile because Kaede clearly doesn't like rules. Um, and I just felt for the guy, but he's so funny. I really, really enjoyed any scene that he was in. But yeah, it's pretty. The art's pretty interesting. Like, there's a lot of like the art's pretty nice, and then you've got these weird like faces and stuff that like they do. This mangaka does chibi kind of character things, but they're like very bizarre looking. Like I've never seen characters drawn in this particular style before. And I thought that was interesting. I don't think I particularly like it, but it is definitely different than anything I've seen before. Um, but yeah, I think all in all, if you're okay with age gaps or you enjoy them, if you like stories about like famous like celebrities and stuff, whether it be idols or actors, um, this is probably up your alley. For the most part, for me, outside of the first 2 volumes, which, like I said, I very, very much enjoyed, it didn't really pick up for me again until closer to the end. Now, that being said, I really liked the way this series ended. I thought it was a very good message. I thought it was a very good. I just thought it was very well done. I'm obviously not going to spoil what happens, but I think that, you know, if you're thinking about, oh, is this, you know, it's just another age gap where you've got this high school girl dating this guy, and then she's just going to drop everything for this guy and whatever. I think there is something valuable about this series in regards to that of how the story kind of progresses and how we see Hinana like stepping up to the plate and being really mature and making decisions for herself, um, and also for him of like how do we as a couple have fun and be, you know, be in love and all of these things, but then also really focus on our futures and our careers and how do we become the people that we want to be, um, while still existing in the same orbit of each other. uh, it's really I really did enjoy the ending. It'll definitely take another reread or a reread for me to kind of maybe appreciate the middle bit a bit more, because I was reading it volume to volume as they came out rather than as a continuous story. And I find that, when it gets into the super heavy like drama part, which the middle of this series kind of is, when you're waiting so long for a volume and then you finally get your hands on it and there's nothing like funny or exciting that happens, it's literally just drama, it's kind of a letdown. And I think when it's like, multiple volumes of that, you just kind of lose momentum a little bit. um, but I feel like if I read it now in one sitting, maybe I won't feel as kind of bogged down by that, because I can move on to move past that part into the parts that are more, uplifting or charming or whatever. But yeah, if you've read Kiss Me at the Stroke of Midnight, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Um, yeah, all in all, it's a pretty good series with some pretty cute artwork. I love the covers. I think that they're all gorgeous. And yeah, thanks for watching.